Rosa Parks, commonly known as the First Lady of the Civil Rights, was an African-American civil rights leader during the 20th century. Born on February 4, 1913 in Tuskegee, Alabama, Rosa Parks led a courageous life until her death on October 24, 2005. She died of natural causes in Detroit, Michigan, at the age of 92. However, her legacy continues to live on today. Parks was born to Leona and James McCauley. Her mother, a teacher, and her father, a carpenter, separated when Parks was just 2 years old. After the separation of her parents in 1915, Parks, her mother, and her younger brother resided in Pine Level, Alabama, a small community just outside the boundaries of Montgomery, Alabama. Parks and her family lived with her grandparents on their family farm. Her grandparents, both former slaves, helped influence Rosa and instilled a strong sense of racial equality within Rosa at a young age. In addition, Rosa's mother was a teacher who valued education. Thus, she taught Rosa to read at a young age. Rosa attended a segregated one-room school within Pine Level, Alabama that often lacked competent school supplies and were inferior compared to the white-only schools. Despite unequal schooling opportunities, at age 11, Rosa continued her education in Montgomery, Alabama, attending segregated schools. However, in 1929, Rosa left school to care for her sick mother and grandmother, thus inhibiting her from completing her high school education. After departing from her studies in 1929, Rosa got a job as a seamstress. 3 years later, at the age of 19, Rosa met and married Raymond Parks, a barber and active member of the NAACP. Raymond was a self-educated man whom encouraged Rosa to earn her high school diploma, a goal in which she achieved the following year in 1933. In addition to earning her high school diploma, Rosa also became an active advocate in the NAACP in 1943. Together, her husband, MLK, and countless others sought to end the racial discrimination that overwhelmed the city of Montgomery. At the time, Jim Crow laws governed the city of Montgomery, Alabama, and African Americans were forced to abide by these rules such as public transportation segregation. Thus, when Rosa challenged these laws and refused to give up her seat for a white passenger on December 1, 1955, Montgomery, Alabama experienced great turmoil.
Just the other day, one of the fine citizens of our community, Mrs. Rosa Parks, was arrested because she refused to give up her seat for a white passenger. Mrs. Rosa Parks was arrested and taken down to jail, taken from the bus, just because she refused to give up her seat. At present, we are in the midst of a protest, the Negro citizens of Montgomery, representing some 44% of the population. 90% at least of the regular Negro bus passengers are staying off the buses, and we plan to continue until something is done.
Rosa's courageous act of resistance helped spark the Montgomery bus boycott. The 13-month-long boycott had detrimental effects on the Montgomery public transportation revenue and ultimately helped to end segregation on public buses. Rosa Parks' act of civil disobedience helped change the focus of the civil rights movement. Rosa's act helped shift the civil rights activists' focus from gaining equality through the courts to actively protesting unequal treatment in segregated states. Rosa's act initiated radical change for African Americans in the United States of America and ultimately helped end segregation in America. Rosa Parks was more than just a civil rights activist who said no. She served as a symbol of dignity and strength in the struggle to end racial discrimination. Rosa Parks significantly impacted today's society. Due to her audacious resistance, America is an integrated country where people of all races can enjoy equal facilities and opportunities. Rosa Parks remains one of the most important figures in American history today. Her actions forever changed the way we live our lives in the country that we live in, and the effects she had on America are still evident in our daily lives. And the land is dark. In closing, Rosa Parks is an inspiration to many. She proved to the world that it was possible for one person to stand up and make a difference. Her simple but brave act of defiance inspired many African American writers to voice their opinions regarding the unjust laws of the time, and challenged the racial inequalities that consume the country. Many pieces of literature in which one voices their opinion against the social injustices of African Americans can be attributed to Rosa and her act of defiance.